This is the TRL Grand Final Footy Show, brought to you by Wattles Rugby League Football Club, Gatton Leagues Club, Dalby Leagues Club, Valleys Rugby League Football Club and Power FM, live and free from Wattles Clubhouse on Power TV Australia. And now, here's your host from the Obie and Cookie Call on Power FM, Andrew O'Brien, a.k.a. Obie.
Welcome to the TRL Footy Show! Let's go! Yeah!
Well, hello, and we are at our last Toowoomba Rugby League Footy Show, and we are here at Wattles, and they've got a grand final to play on Sunday, and we've got a couple of mates here, and namely a few young people here. We've got the League Tag girls here from Wattles who play in the Warwick district, don't we?
Yes, we do.
And you're one of the captains, is that right?
Yes.
What's your name?
Ebony.
Okay, and you're under 14s?
Under 17s.
Under 17s, and you're captain as well, is that right?
Yes, that's right.
What's your name?
Sophie.
Okay. Now, have you scored a try this year?
Yeah.
Okay, did you do an after-try celebration?
Oh, you bet.
Okay, well, let's have a look at it. Okay, what's your name?
Lacey Maguire.
Okay, Lisa, just stand up there. Okay. All right, stand up there. Well, because I'm going to commentate you, okay? Now, here's Lisa Maguire. She gets the ball. She beats one. She beats another, and she scores. Give us the after try. Oh, what can I say? How about you? What's the best try you scored?
When I scored?
Yeah, a try's a thing when you score and that, you know. Yeah.
When Sophie kicked it.
Oh, good. So Sophie must be good. And we've got a couple of young fellas. Now, how are you, champ? You've told everyone, mate, that you've busted your shoulder on a trampoline, mate. Why don't you tell them that you did it at football so it makes you look good?
Oh, nah.
Okay, what's your name?
Ethan,
Ethan, and what grade do you play?
under 14s.
Okay, and then up the back there we've got our finance manager for Toowoomba Rugby League and also the best helper and organiser in the world, Janine Maguire. So, how you going, Janine?
Great, Obie.
Okay, then we got her wonderful husband, Pat. You're the coach here, aren't you, mate?
I'm assistant coach.
Assistant coach. And then we've got Amanda over here, haven't we? So it's wonderful. Tell me what's best. Well, tell me what's best about Wattles Club.
We're a team.
Isn't that wonderful? Okay. And who's your favourite player? Do you know any of the players in the senior ranks?
Oh, it has to be Travis Burns.
Okay. Is he sort of hot?
Oh, you'd have to ask Sophie that one.
Where's Sophie? Oh, Sophie, is he really hot?
No, he's just a good player.
Okay. And what's your name?
David.
David. And who's your favourite NRL player?
Jonathan Thurston.
Oh, I thought he was going to say that. And I see you're a Roosters supporter, is that right?
Yep.
What's your name?
Shaquan.
Yeah. And who's your favourite NRL player?
Teddy.
Teddy who?
James Tedesco.
Oh, James Tedesco. I thought he was going to say Teddy Bear or something like that. Anyway, look, it's wonderful that we're here at Wattles Warriors home ground of Platts Oval. Plenty of history. Let's get on with the show. And all girls, come on, let's give us a big cheer. Woo! We'll see you there.
Coming up after the break, our panel and the guests will discuss the Mustangs. This is the TRL Grand Final Footy Show, brought to you by Wattles Rugby League Football Club, Gatton Leagues Club, Dalby Leagues Club, Valleys Rugby League Football Club and Power FM, live and free from Wattles Clubhouse on Power TV Australia. Thanks for joining us for the grand final edition of the TRL Footy Show from Wattles Rugby League Football Club. Let's get back to Obie and the panel.
Well, hello and welcome to our very last Toowoomba Rugby League Footy Show for 2018. And we are here at Wattles. Is anyone out there? Look, that's the biggest cheer that I've had. I don't know what you got, Reeds, but it was fantastic to be popular. But joining me is co-host who's helped me many times this year, none other than the legend himself, Paul Reedy. How are you, Reeds?
Yeah, good, thanks, Harvey. Look, don't get mistaken, that cheer was for
the rest of the panel.
Oh, okay. So
Earlier you said you'd lost your voice and they were all happy about that.
that's right. And again, a name synonymous with rugby league, none other than the legend himself, Neville Cherry. How are you, Nev?
Mate, brilliant, Ovie. Can't wait for the game on the weekend. It's going to be a real cracker.
Okay. And joining me here is the president of the Wattles Warriors, an absolute legend out in these parts, Glenn Reese. How are you, Glenn?
Very good, thanks, Andy.
Come on, put your hands together for Reese. That's enough. Anyway, it's great to be out here, but before we get to you, Reese, we're going to talk about the Mustangs. They had their last game really on the weekend against the Capras, and they'll be celebrating, I think it's next week, isn't it?
Yeah, mate, so that was their last game, so they're looking forward to obviously the end of the season, the banquet, and having a good time. We had a bit of a struggle up there with the Capras. We only travelled up with 14 players. A number of our players were back in the grand final, preliminary finals with Souths as well, so a number of our players had to go back, so we had to go up a little bit short, but the boys, tried really hard up there. We've had a number of key injuries throughout the year, but yeah, started rebuilding again for next year.
And over to you, Glenn. And thanks, first of all, on behalf of the Toowoomba Rugby League Footy Show for having us out here. We really appreciate it. And everyone's very excited coming into Sunday's match.
Mate, very much so. Both communities, Clifton and Elra, have got right behind it. Short drive, I suppose, up the main street of Everard, and we'll show the club colours. But the club itself, of course, has got a 53-year history out here. It's an institution in these parts, and indeed there wouldn't be too many people around here that haven't had some link with the Wattles Club.
Well, that's right. I think, and now correct me if I'm wrong, and you'll be very impressed with this, Reese. You won it in 2014, 2015, 1997 and 1970, is that right?
That's correct. Yeah.
How good am I? I'm on
Pretty
fire
good.
tonight!
Pretty good.
Hey?
Who was captain 1970 side?
Greg Platts.
Very good.
And he was captain coach, you idiot. Okay, so it was great. But what a great history we have here, Neville, at this wonderful club.
Mate, there's two clubs that do history better than anyone else, Ovie. It's the Wattles Club and the Valleys Club. And to see both these teams come together this weekend, it's where legends are made of.
Yeah, that's right. And looking just over here, if we get the camera, this is what the A grade are playing for. If I can move that in the camera, sorry, Reese, in there. That is the Hutchies Cup. That's the one and only for Sunday. And I'm sure Wattles will be wanting to carry that one. And I'm glad they've got Dale Perkins because she's bloody heavy. And then over here, we've got the Hart Memorial Trophy, which was prior to this, but they still use it, and it's fantastic, and hopefully the Hart family are watching, so we're looking forward to that. And Reese, tell us a bit about the club, mate, and first of all, your sponsors. Who's your main sponsors here?
Oh, mate, we're very lucky. National Farmers Warehouse have been on deck for over a decade, and I have to say, Obi, that we're very lucky to have quite a few sponsors that have been over that time period. Robin Miles down at the Railway Hotel, she's done an excellent job too over that time period. She's been out here about 12 years. She sponsored Wattles all of that time, and also sponsors the Fassapurn Club down there in Ipswich. Mate, we've got endless sponsors. Trying to name them all tonight's probably impossible. We're very grateful for the contribution that they do make, and I know in this particular year where we started off a little bit slowly, their support has been magnificent and much needed, and it's certainly, I suppose, carried the club through to the point that they are, and they're all the people that I've been in contact in the last few days are just thoroughly chuffed about the achievements of the A grade side, but also our reserve grade side this year who made the final.
And they were very, very good. And look, well, tell us about your unsung heroes. Who's your people you can't do without in the club here, Glenn?
Well, there's quite a few, but like a lot of clubs, I suppose, we can count them on two hands. But anyway, obviously I'd like to thank Travis in particular. Travis Burns, and I know we can sit here and sing Travis's praises all night, and we'll be singing them along into the night on Sunday night. But the thing is, Trav's one of those coaches, he doesn't just perform on the field, he performs off the field, and his ability to sell raffle tickets and all of those important off-field specifics, if you like, have been greatly appreciated and a great help to our club this year. Mandy Byrne, of course, is Trav's mum. She's
There's Mandy over there. G'day, Mandy, how are you? She's over there. And we're over here. G'day, Mandy. That's good, Jay.
And we've got Joanne Gleeson also. Who's
Where's
our,
Joanne?
Wonderful treasurer.
Hello, Joanne. How you going?
And of course Tim, Joanne's husband Tim, and Trav's dad Peter out there on the barbecue. Hopefully there'll be some left for us. But anyway, again, great football supporters. Tim, a former Wattles player. And if I could just make a point, if I may, about former Wattles players and current ones. And as Nev said before about the 1970 side, there was a chap in that team by the name of Malcolm Duff, and his son, our big front
Mitchell.
rower, Duffy, will
Big
be
Mitchell.
playing in the grand final on Sunday.
Wow.
Isn't he a unit, Neville?
Mate, he's brilliant. He's got better and better as the year's gone on.
Good. I'd hate to meet him in a dark alley, I can tell you. And look, I was going to say, Glenn, now, what's the plans on Sunday? You're coming back here after the game?
Mate, we'll be coming back here, rain, hail or shine, but yeah, we're hoping to come back here obviously with the right result. We're hoping, unlike the 97 year when we won, we can get everybody out of here before the end of the week. But yeah, lots of celebrations there. But yeah, all the action will be back here. Food, drinks, lots of friends, supporters, sponsors, and of course our team that are going to achieve wonderful things on Sunday.
And your presentation night, mate, just for information there?
Mate, presentation night, a little bit late this year, so October the 6th. We're lucky to have Gary Larson, State of Origin fame. Gary's coming down from Miriam.
Sven van Sveden.
And yeah, that's right.
That's him, that's his nickname.
And we're pretty sure that Stevie Maddai, one of Trav's right-hand man, will be up here too. But we've made the effort this year, and we're not that it hasn't in the past years, but getting some of our past heroes here, like Platsy, Rowan, and Shane can't come, but yeah, or Lou Platts, etc., coming up also.
That's great. Me and Gary Larson have got something in common, Reeds.
I don't know what it is, mate. It wasn't your football ability.
No, deep.
Did he drive through Gatton once?
A deep, sexy voice. That's what we've got, I can tell you.
You sound like you're
So
off.
we go from there.
You sound like you're off Wolf Creek, mate.
Mate, I'm on Wolf Creek at the moment, I can tell you. Look, Glenn, that's the end of our first segment. We thank you very much for having us. We've got plenty more happening on the footy show. And look, as we go to next after the break. Sorry, Glenn, you got something else?
Yeah, mate, if I can just ask the next time you come out, and I really look forward to that in next year. I'm just wondering if I don't get here first next time, if I can have the tall chair instead of you three, Glenn.
Yeah, that's good, Glenn. But hey, Glenn, we've got you on the tall chair. Anyway, but look, we've got. Sorry, mate.
You're right. Good.
But after the break, we look at the summary of the preliminary final, and let's have a look at an interview. I think I've got it wrong up there, but it might be with. I think it's Gus McKellar, and he's the coach of Highfields after last weekend's preliminary final. This is the Toowoomba Rugby League Footy Show!
Coming up after the break, Obi and the panel will review the TRL Criterion Hotel Finals Series. This is the TRL Grand Final Footy Show, brought to you by Wattles Rugby League Football Club, Gatton Leagues Club, Dolby Leagues Club, Valleys Rugby League Footy Club, and Power FM. We're live and free from Wattles Clubhouse on Power TV Australia.
Nev Cherry reporting to the Toowoomba Rugby League here, and I'm with the Highfields Eagles first grade coach, Gus McKellar. Gus, can you give me an overview of how you think that game played out?
Oh, mate, I thought early we were really good, and I thought we were on top there. We, at 10-2, we got a disallowed try there that, to me, looked like a pretty certain try. So, and then Wattles got the momentum back, and we finished well with a try on half time. And look, I think we had one set in about the first 15 minutes after half time there, and a few soft penalties, and they got on top, and we just couldn't recuperate from there. And the boys, again, the effort wasn't, and our execution again at times when we were trying too hard again. But like I said, it's all easy sitting in the grandstand, but when you're trying to score points and things aren't going your way, it gets frustrating. And but they can hold their heads high, mate. They tried their asses off.
Mate, I certainly can see that, and it was a strange sort of a game because you get a try just before our time, and it usually gives guys a kick along, gives you momentum in the second half, but it just didn't play out like that.
No, mate, I said we just couldn't get the ball there. We I think we probably spilled one or two at the back there, and they got a couple of penalties on tackle 5 and stuff like that, and we just made a few poor errors, but again, mate, it's life.
Mate, Tommy Ingersoll, the former AFL player, mate, he was just freaking sensational for you.
Yeah, Tommy, he's a really good player, mate, and he tried his backside off, and Look, as I said, mate, without watching the video and that, I'm a bit disappointed about some of the stuff that went on out there today. But in saying that, Wattles, they did play well, and they played it really simple without Matty, and Travis's kicking game was good, and we just didn't capitalise when we had our chances, I guess.
Anyone else you think stood up for you today?
Oh, look, mate, I thought Tommy Ingersoll was good. Everett was good when he went out there, and Sammy Beefield was excellent in the middle. Denny Dean, mate, and Denzel was lightning all day. He was causing them issues everywhere. Yeah, mate, it was just one of them days, unfortunately.
It was sort of, I think he was in that first half, he was right on top, and it was just 2 mistakes down on your own line, and then they sort of 2 tries to Ty Gardner, they capitalised on it, and that's what put them back in. And in the end, that's what got you.
Yeah, definitely, mate. And as I said, just a couple of errors there, and it'd be interesting to have a look at that one at Tommy Hines, because we go to 16-2 there, and we're well on top. And but in saying that, those couple of little errors gave him momentum back, and we counter-punched well at the end there with Den scoring just on half time, and I thought, I said we just didn't get the ball much after that first 20, so it was pretty hard for us.
Well, mate, if there's any consolation, like Wattles, they definitely turned up here to play, and they definitely didn't take us lightly, and it was a sensational game. You've been brilliant all year for the competition. You've been, I wouldn't say the benchmark, but every side gauges themselves against how they go against Highfields to work out where they are in the season. Yeah,
thanks, Nev. But at the end of the day, I'd still rather be playing next week. Mate. But I said they're good footy teams, and I said on Friday night, there's some bloody good teams this year, and there's not much in it, and just in finals you get a little bit of momentum and things go your way, and that's what happens. So anyway.
Well, mate, we'll see you up here next week watching the 18s. Thanks, well done, Gus. Cheers, mate.
Councillors, I'll declare the meeting open. Thank you very much for your attendance. Welcome to our staff.
Hi, this is Mick Jagger on
Classic Vinyl. This is Debbie Harrow from Blondie.
This is Jimmy Barnes here.
Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac.
This is Reverend Willie G from ZZ Top.
The best tracks from the greatest albums of our generation.
That's right.
From your breakfast and coffee to your drive home.
We've got the classic hits that make your workday.
When you got a job to do,
go by a lot faster.
Hey, if we haven't said it lately, thanks for listening. The home of classic rock.
Don't touch the dial.
PowerFMRadio.com.au.
Whether you're a professional musician, a weekend warrior, or just starting out, you need to talk to the experts at Royce Music. With over 35 years' experience, Royce Toowoomba's oldest music store specialise in guitars, drums, and sound equipment, and can even repair and maintain your equipment. Call them today on 46-327-377, drop into their showroom at 17 Bowen Street, or find them on Facebook. Royce Music, selling Toowoomba's finest musical instruments.
Hi, I'm Neil from CGD Group, and we do printing with imagination. Our products and imaging have that wow factor. Whether it be business cards, flyers, the Coffee Gazette, or our brand new A5 video folders and animation. Have your business branding remembered. Call us today on 4639 5553. CGD Group, printing with imagination.
On Power TV Australia, we take a frank look at computers, the internet and social media with a team of experts from around the world with Switched On IT. Learn what makes the internet tick and how to keep your kids safe online. Discover a whole new world of entertainment at www.powertvaustralia.com or download the app from the Google Play Store.
Thanks for joining us for the TRL Footy Show. It's the grand final edition from Wattles Rugby League Football Club. Let's get back to Obi and the panel.
Welcome back to the Toowoomba Rugby League Footy Show. Are you still out there? Well, well done. It's a grand final edition of the Toowoomba Rugby League Footy Show, and joining us is the coach of the Wattles Warriors, none other than Travis Burns. How are you, Trav?
Yeah, good, thank you, Govey.
Thanks so much for coming. If you just want to speak up a bit more, mate, because I know you're really shy of me, mate.
I've lost
and
my
I'm
voice.
I'm intimidating for you, aren't I?
Very intimidating. You've been pestering me all year to come on the show.
I have been, mate, and you've brushed us. Now, the money I had to fork out for you to come was just amazing. But look, we're here to summarise the preliminary final day. And look, Neville, I'll start with you. What a game A grade was. A lot of people had not gone for Wattles, they'd gone for Highfields, and I don't know what the reasoning was behind that, but certainly Matthew Duggan not playing was a big key to that. But what a wonderful win by the club.
Mate, it certainly was. And as we go back over the semi-finals over the last 2 years, that was by far their greatest win. And you could see it, Obi, when the guys walked out of the shed over to warm up, they were way more measured than they were the week before. And I talked to Mitchie Coyner and Wilson on the wing there, and they were measured, they were slightly confident, but they had their minds on the job, and that made all the difference.
And Reeds, what impressed you the most about Wattles' win on Sunday?
I think they had something to prove when Matt was rubbed out for both games. They obviously had something to prove. It probably also brought Travis more into the game. NRL experience, you sort of can't buy that at local level. But I think getting a little bit of earlier ball out to the backs, which they didn't do the week before against Valleys. The outside got starved of early ball, but this week, against Highfields, they really took it to them out wide, and the forwards were just tremendous. So anyone took the ball up the middle for Highfields, they felt it.
Yeah, and you said, I think in one of your many interviews, Travis, that look, when your forwards are going forwards, it makes your job very easy.
Yeah, it does. Our forwards were tremendous on Sunday, and it does make any halfback's job easy if they're going forward and creating quick play the balls. It's easy. You're kicking on the front foot, gives you outside backs time with the ball. So our forwards probably laid the platform, and a big reason why we got the job done. Because
it's interesting, you're very focused, which they were in the beginning, Neville, weren't they? And then, I don't know, you seem to have a lot of the run in the first half, but you found yourself behind 16-14, and we've got that try of Denzel Burns, which will show, which put them in front at half time. We'll see that coming over from there, and that sort of woke you up a bit. It was probably the best thing that happened to you at half time there, Travis, because you knew that you were in a contest.
Yeah, we'll probably had all the running in that first half, and we'll probably, there was probably try against the run to play there, but he's a special player, that Denzel Burns, and can't teach speed, and he anywhere up the middle that you a bit of pace, it's hard to defend. So he got us on that one, but you're probably right, it probably did wake us up, and we knew we were in for a game.
I think if you go back to your other game there where you played Valleys on the Saturday night, and you've got that try right on half time, which actually puts us back in front. I think he's went into the shed like a little bit high. We're back in front. We're ready to go. But I think if you had gone in behind, you might have come out and really stuck it to Valleys in that second half in a different way.
Yeah, and that try was probably a try against a runner play as well. Valleys probably had all the running in that first half. We never played great in that first semi, and I said to the boys after the game, I said it's probably a godsend that we got beat that first week, because another week off you're resting up. Like another good game against Highfields, a physical game, probably set us up for this weekend, hopefully.
I think, Nev, I did say that Valleys had to really play well to beat these guys in the qualifying final, but they just seemed to have that steely resolve on Sunday, didn't they?
Mate, they certainly did, and to be the best, you've got to beat the best, Obi. And as Trav said, during the year and over the last 2 weeks, we've got the two best sides in the competition. But someone I'd like to pay special tribute is Ty Gardner. His anticipation to get those two tries. He's the only bloke in the competition he's just in the right spot at the right time all the time, and he does it consistently. It's more than a fluke, and I think he deserves a big pat on the back to get his on the front foot in that game.
He was really good. I think he scored about 12 tries this year, so I think he's their third best try scorer all year for a back row. That's good strike rate.
Yep.
He's getting better and better. He's only played the game for a small amount of time, and he was really upset after that first loss, and didn't feel he played that great in that first game, and he come out and he was a big reason why we won that game.
Yeah, so you came out the sheds in the second half, and it didn't take you long for you to get your act together again, and you've scored. We'll just get this try of yours, and I think your try and Jackson Green were the real turning point. Did you find that that was a weakness for them? You alerted to that weakness at half time?
Not really. I think the week before against Valleys, we just tried to play around them a bit too much, and we played off slow play the balls, and it's always hard to play off slow the balls and try and run around a team. We did that against Highfields here in that last game of the regular season, and they really put it to us in that first half. So we just concentrating on creating something fast, and then giving the outside backs plenty of room. And I think we did that in the second half. Ty scored a couple of nice tries. Nathan Goulton scored a good try, and then
that was a good try by Nathan Goulton.
Yeah, it was a good try. He's a game breaker, Nathan Goulton. He's got the ability to break a game open, which is good. So hopefully he's. I
think one of the things that I noticed difference between your game last week against Highfields and the previous week against Valleys was your broken play. So when you were chasing kicks or there was a broken play against Valleys, you seemed a bit loose, and they made a lot of inroads and got second phase and third phase play. But against Highfields, whenever there was broken play, you were all there, keen, enthusiastic in defence, and you just stopped all that.
Yeah, just 1% players. I just think the week before we just didn't play finals footy great. Like if there was a loose ball on the ground, Valleys were the first there. And I think on the weekend, if there was a loose ball on the ground or a kick chase, like we outnumbered them. Like Dill Wilson took 2 or 3, like for a big man to dive on the ball, and one he picked off his shoelaces. You know what I mean? That's just can't teach that. That's just a bit of heart, a bit of determination. That's what wins finals footy.
Your kick chase, Travis, like those kicks you're putting down into those corners, and I was perched down in that corner, and mate, whenever the winger or the fullback looked up, there was just one wall of Wattles coming out. They had nowhere to go, and they didn't want to go in there. They were getting belted every time they run in there.
Yeah, they did, and we touched on that leading into the game, that our kick chase has got to be better, and our 1%ers, like you're tying in from the inside, or if there's a loose ball, diving on the ball. We had an emotional week that week. Losing Matty, we still shattered for Matty not to be playing in the grand final, but there's nothing we can do about that now.
I think one thing that we have forgotten we've got those tries for Travis and Jackson. We'll show them on the screen there. There's one thing we didn't talk about was Mitch Coyner dislocating his shoulder. And I suppose you haven't got time to think about you've got one player injured, have you?
Not really, not in a semi-final and being as close to what it was. Like that, it was harder than the scoreline probably reflected how tough it was. I know we got to a decent lead, but they sort of.
Just watching this try of Jackson Green, and he did nothing wrong the first half, guys. But this was it'll come up soon. This is.
There's only one person could score this try.
Yeah, so it's Jackson coming up Green now, and but this really turned the game for me, Neville, didn't it?
Oh, mate, certainly did. He just give him that front foot, and just like I said, like he's a Price Webke medalist, and he'll break a game open for you. Like he's just sensational. He's been great for our competition, great for the Wattles club, and mate, he just breaks your spirit when you're the opposition and a bloke can do this to you.
But back to Mitch Coyner, mate. He just had no time, but looks like he's racing against time, and you've been fairly confident that he is going to play this weekend.
Yeah, I think he's 50-50. So he's been a massive part of why we've gone so well this season. He's a real leader for the younger boys. Like our forward pack's pretty young. You got Dale
and you're not the forward pack?
No, you're not right. You got Dale and Ryan and probably Mitchie, that are our senior group of that forward pack, and they really lead from the front. And he was a big loss to have him go down. Yeah. He ties up so much around the middle, but the boys that come off the bench, like Willow Grady's, Dill Wilson, they really stood up in his absence, and that was a big reason why I went on.
Pearson went well for us. Every time he's come off the bench, he's really had a go.
Yeah, he's played well, and to be honest, Dill wasn't that he was in my plans at the start of the year in A grade, but I just, I'd never heard of Dill, and I'd heard all these other players, and he just turned up to train. He just forced his way into my round one side, and he's played every game.
Yep. He's a big body too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a big body, yeah.
Well, we'll certainly talk more about Wattles as we preview the grand final at the next segment, but there were a couple other games on the weekend in reserve grade. Pittsburgh 18 defeated Highfields 16, and that was a ripper of a game, fairly fiery game, wasn't it, Nev?
It certainly was. And, mate, the Pittsburgh Danes, they just don't go away. As we said during the year, if they're coming first or they're coming last, mate, when you play them, they're just tough all the time. And that's a real boil over, because Highfields are red-hot favourites.
And Reed's this wonderful south side, they showed some fantastic skill to put away the minor premiers, 44 points to Dalby's 4.
Yeah, and look, they'll repeat that, I reckon, in the grand final. Souths, The 5 players from our Mustang side are back in there. Luke Maiden's, he's a big boy. He's just been signed by the Gold Coast Titans. So he's a real asset to have back in the south side, along with those other boys. Cole Peterson's a real good player from Jake Simpkin, the hooker for the south side. He's a Broncos fellow who's heading down there next year as well. So they've got a really good talent there. They'll be pretty disappointing after the year they've sort of had in the 18s. They've been there all year, but yeah, look, I think the Tigers and Highfields this weekend in the under-18s, it'll be a good match, but I think South will put plenty of points on.
We have got a sequence of photos from a photographer sent in about Luke Maiden's try. You'll see that as it goes through. It was a beauty. And in second division, Pittsworth 30 defeated Gatton 20 to put away the minor premiers. 3 minor premiers being beaten on the lower grades there on the weekend, and they play Warwick on the weekend. So we'll go to the break and we'll look at Travis's interview after he won the Hutchies Player of the Match in a wonderful performance on Sunday, one for the ages. This is the TRL Footy Show.
After the break, we'll look at a preview at the TRL Criterion Hotel Grand Final. This is the TRL Footy Show, the Grand Final edition, brought to you by Wattles, Gatton, Dalby and Valleys Football Clubs, along with Power FM, live and free from Wattles Clubhouse on Power TV Australia.
I've got the man of the moment, Travis Burns. Travis, that is the best game you've played by far. You're smart, you're creative. You just exude the calmness across your team, and mate, they followed your lead today.
Oh, my forwards laid a platform for me to do that today, so I won't take all the credit. We had a bit of an emotional week this week with the suspension of Matty. And, no one gives a chance here today, including yourself, Nev.
Yeah, mate, yeah.
No one gives a chance.
No
one gives a chance to come here. I think we've been the best side all year. To lose probably one of the best players in the game in Matty and come out and perform like that, I'm so proud of my players. But you know what, I think Highfield's had a brilliant year. It's very hard to win from where they come from, and there's only a whisker in it. They're very well coached, they're fit, they're young. But I think the 2 best sides of the year are playing the grand final. I think it's fitting. No disrespect to the other sides, but it's going to be a massive game next week, and we've had some good tussles this year. So,
mate, the master stroke, putting Hargraves in there. When did you come up with that plan?
Oh, pretty early. Jakey's played a bit of rep footy under 20 Storm at 5'8", and also he played with State League as well. So he's not a bad bloke to throw in there. Thought my middles were just outstanding tonight. Now if they quick play the balls now outside back, Jackson Green, he's tough as a woodpecker lips. He is brilliant.
Mate, he certainly is. And just going back to Hargraves, it looked like the more chance he got to be in the action, the better he went.
He did, he didn't try and overplay his head, and that's what I said. I said, you're not a Matt Duggan. No disrespect to Jakey, but I said, you just play what's good for yourself, and that's playing straight, taking them on, and he iced the game with that try. But I said, I tip my hat to Highfields. They've had a great run through the series, and they're very unlucky. They just got a better side of them.
Mate, Travis, you've played heaps of football right across the country. You turn up here today. Who's the one person you played for here today?
I lost a very good friend of mine. Started about 18 months ago, so I always promised him I'd win a grand final, so hopefully I can do that. So.
Mate, you're a champion. The more I know you, the more I enjoy you. Mate, you're the Hutchies Builders Player of the Match today. Thank you. Mate, you're well deserved.
Thank you.
You're a champion.
Cheers, buddy.
Break out the popcorn, sweets and drinks. It's Sunday night at the movies. Latest release movies brought to you exclusively by US filmmakers, including Lima Films. Sunday night at the movies, so join us every Sunday night at 7 p.m. right here on Power TV Australia.
Hi, this is Mick Jagger on
Classic Vinyl.
This is Debbie Harrow from Blondie.
This is Jimmy Barnes here.
Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac.
This is Reverend Willie G from ZZ Top.
The best tracks from the greatest albums of our generation.
That's right.
From your breakfast and coffee to your drive home.
We've
ideas that make your workday
When you got a job to do.
Go by a lot faster.
if we haven't said it lately. Thanks for listening. The home of classic rock.
Don't touch the dial.
PowerFMradio.com.au.
Playing indoor netball, cricket, soccer, dodgeball and volleyball is a great way to keep fit and catch up with friends, and the place to go and play any or all of these sports is Action Indoor Sports. There are competitions for juniors and adults of all levels of ability, from beginners to the most experienced. Action Indoor Sports is home to Inflatable World, an inflatable theme park for all ages, and new and coming soon, indoor softball. Go and see for yourself. Action Indoor Sports is located at 31 Spencer Street, Toowoomba. Check out the website toowoombaindoorsports.com or phone 46359999.
Well, welcome along to My Music. I'm Jeff Black. Let me tell you about the T-Bird Diner. Well, just over here, we've got a Ford custom line that's crashed through the wall. Next episode on My Music on Power TV Australia. I'll see you then.
Thanks for joining us for the grand final edition of the TRL Footy Show from Wattles Clubhouse. Let's get back to Obi and the panel.
Okay, it's welcome back to the TRL Footy Show. Yeah! What a great crowd. Our last footy show for 2018. It's great to be here and involved with the Wattles Club as they seek the silverware on Sunday when they play the grand final against Valleys. And before we talk about the big game, and we'll talk about, well, we've got a little visitor here, haven't we? And what's your name? Poppy. And who is your favourite player? Very good. So
Ty could find himself on the bench this week, I think.
And Poppy is your daughter Travis? No, not your daughter. And Travis is your father, is that right? That's right.
Good,
How many kids you got, Travis?
I've got 2.
Oh, that's good. Hello to all the kids out there. That's great that they come on. And let's look at this grand final. Start with second division, Warwick versus Pittsworth. They had a great week 1 tussle where Warwick won right on the bell, 14-12 with a kick to win that game. So they meet each other in grand final, Reeds.
Yeah, I think Warwick just sort of out-enthused Gatton that day. They just didn't seem to be in the match for the whole lot, but Warwick come out in the second half and they really pushed the ball around, and they brought the ball back with some vigour, and when they were returning the kicks they were making 30 and 40 yards. So a set of 6, by the end of it they were putting pressure on the opposition's goal line all the time. It'll be a good match this weekend against Pittsworth. I think Pittsworth might do them.
Yeah, well I'm thinking Warwick myself. I've tipped Pittsworth, but they've had the week off. Nev, your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I think I'll go Warwick. They're a very classy side. Like Pittsworth are tough, and coincidentally, they're the only club with 2 sides in the grand finals, so they may lose a few players up into the reserve grade, but I'll tip Warwick in that game.
Travis?
I've got a good friend of mine that plays for Warwick, plays 5-8 for Warwick, so I'll tip Warwick this week.
Okay, and under 18s, and again, we just mentioned this wonderful South side. They come from 5th. They won the Mats and Rasmussen by 1,000 there, and but they had a stop-start to the season with a lot of their wonderful players going on a rep, and they play Highfields was out a week off. Is that week off going to help the Highfield side, Reeds?
No, I don't think it will actually. When Highfields were playing Dalby in that semi-final, the longer the game went, the better Highfields were going. They were really getting into the grind. Then they started to get over the top of the Dalby side, and that's when they scored some nice tries and they put some points. And I think the week off might actually go against them. Souths all through the final series have been very impressive. They've put a lot of points on whoever they've played. So I think they're going to come out against Highfields. But it is the first Highfields Eagles side out of their club's history to make a grand final. So Highfields will be out there in droves cheering the boys on.
And congratulations to Highfields. Of course, they're the club champions for 2018. And look, a lot of people are tipping South, Nev. Highfields have got something to prove, but nothing to lose as well.
Mate, most certainly, and a lot of these guys go to school together. They were teammates in the Confraternity Shield win for the St Mary's, and mate, just watching both sides on the weekend, a lot of cheat goes on between both teams, so I think there's a few things to square up, and it's going to be one cracker of a game.
So you're obviously South, I think, Reeds, you're?
I took Highfields.
Yeah, I took Highfields. I think they can dig deep. South, let's remember, they've come from 5th, so what's your thoughts, Trav?
Oh, they're both good sides. I got the start of the Highfields game when they made the grand final, and they're a very good side, especially come back against that Dalby side. I thought they were probably gone. I just think South maybe getting them rep players back. I think South might win in a tight one.
And we go on air about 11 o'clock. George Nutsy McFay will be calling that on Power FM special events. And then at 1 o'clock, the reserve grade is Gatton versus Pittsworth, perennial attendees in finals. And this is going to be an absolute ripper of a game, Reeds.
Yeah, this will be a good game. I actually like the Pittsworth halves. Having O'Sullivan in there and Mackenzie and Jockimson in there, I think they go well. They've got a lot of former A-graders that won the premiership for them a few years ago in this side, as do Gatton. So it'll be a pretty tight tussle. It'll be a typical reserve grade game where it'll be sides changing the lead throughout the game. I'm going to tip Pittsworth to roll the Hawks.
Yeah, well, this is it's the first time in I think about 5 years that it hasn't been a Gatton Valleys reserve grade grand final, but Nev, Tom O'Sullivan got hurt about the first tackle last week and did not take any part in the game, but I see his name this week for Pittsworth. Tom O'Sullivan being the 2016 John McDonald medal winner for Pittsworth.
Mate, I asked Briggsy straight after the game how he was, and mate, he's very doubtful if he'll play. He wasn't real good at all. But mate, this reserve grade grand final, if it's anything like last year's grand final where they just sat in the middle of the field and belted each other black and blue, mate, I can't wait for it. And especially you go for the Gatton and a Pittsworth, they're notorious big forwards, tough forwards, and mate, we're in for a cracker of a game.
Yeah, well, I'm going for Gatton, Brownie. Go you Hawks! Did I scare you then? No. Did I scare you, Poppy? Yeah, I did too. Yeah, that's right. And now, Travis, have you got any...
They won't be the first kid that said you've scared them.
Yeah. Travis, have you got any other friends in Gatton reserve grade grand final, mate?
No, I don't. I think Gatton will win though. I think especially if Briggsy doesn't play, I think he's a big leader for them. So I think Gatton will win another close one.
That's good. Okay, and then on to the big one, the Criterion Hotel Final Series and Hutchie's Cup. And this is what they're playing for. It's going to be a ripper of a game, and I think it's going to be very, very close. How do you see it going, Reeds?
Yeah, look, Wattles and Valleys, they fought off in the Madsen Rasmussen, and the score changed, and Valleys got over him there in the end. They've met throughout the year. The first semi-final, that was a fantastic match on that Saturday night. I enjoyed it. And being so close, it got both sort of groups of supporters on the edge of their seat, and they were pretty vocal out there that night on Saturday night. I tipped Wattles last week to beat Highfields. I thought they'll be too big with the forwards and bringing Travis into the game, and I'm going to tip them to go on to be too good for Valleys, because I think, while they're both great sides, I think the difference for me will be the Wattles bench. When they come on, they won't lose any impact with those players.
Okay, let's have a look at some teams on the graphics if we can get those up, Ned, but there's going to be some fantastic matchups on Sunday.
Mate, most certainly, Obi, and mate, this is the grand final the competition deserves between the Wattles Warriors and the Valleys Roosters. They've been the two best sides all year, and I think it's just going to come down to, Obi, I honestly can't split them. I went for Valleys because I'm an ex-Valleys boy, but mate, whoever's the best goal kicker, or Trav, if you've been practicing your field goals, mate, I think you're going to need it. I think it's going to be that close. It's just going to be one decision or a drop ball or just in a vital time, and whatever side capitalises on that one mistake, that they're going to win the premiership.
Boys, what I really like about both these sides, that they've both been at 85% completion rate about there for the finals and coming in. If we've got those team players to get up there, please, Barry, that'd be great. Let's have a look at this Wattles side. At fullback, we've got Jackson Green. On the wings, Andrew Richardson and Brendan Wilson. In the centres, Nathan Galton, Nick Vanderpool. And in the halves, Jake Hargraves and Travis Burns. Mitchell Duff, Les Ross, Dale Perkins in the front row. Ryan Duggan, Ty Gardner in the second row. Mitch Cornier at lock, and then that wonderful bench of Mark Gordon, Michael Wild Thing Pearson, Will O'Grady and Dylan Wilson. And I've got to ask you, Travis, if you're going to beat Valleys, where are you going to beat them?
I wouldn't really give me game plan away, but
I won't tell anyone, mate. You can tell anyone here, mate. No worries at all.
Oh, we're not really worried about Valleys at this stage. We worry about.
But they're on the other side,
no,
mate.
I know, but we worry about our own backyard first, and we've done that all year. We can't control what Valleys do. We can control what we do. We know what we need to do to win the game, and I've got full faith in me boys that we can do it. Like I said, Valleys they've probably got the wood on us this year. Like they've beat us 3 times, so they're going to come in the game confident. Brett Seymour's done a good job with the injuries that they've had. So, like Nev said, it's going to come down. It's going to come down to a big play off a play, or it's going to be a real crack of a game. So we look forward to it.
How do you nullify people such as Corey McGrady and Dylan Chow?
It's very hard to nullify them. We hopefully they have an off night, but Corey McGrady, he's been brilliant this year, and so's Dylan Chow. So as long as they've got them 2 players in their side, they're a chance to win any game. Like I said, we know it's going to be tough, and if we complete high and get to the end of our sets, we're going to give ourselves a real chance at the end.
You know what I think, Travis, just for your side, if you go back to the semis last year, I think there's a lot of blokes disappointed in your team. They come in and they were the real underdogs, and then they got the wog and a few fellas got hurt and probably didn't perform as well as they could have, but this year they've certainly stepped up for you, and maybe that's the thing that gets you across the line.
Yeah, we're probably just a bit. I know we're probably a bit too confident in that first game. You know, I think the pressure got to a lot of us. Pressure got to me. I know that. I don't normally get nervous for games.
Made up for it in the weekend.
Say Mitchy Corner doesn't play if he doesn't get through the fitness. Who are you going to bring in?
There's about 3 or 4 players there that I can bring up. I haven't made a decision on which one that would be yet. But we're going to give Mitchy right up until Sunday to play.
He'll play.
He's a tough boy. Like I said, he's 50-50 shot at the moment. He dislocated his shoulder, so it wasn't a small injury, but he'd be a massive loss if we lost him. After losing Matty, then to lose another senior player would be massive. So, fingers crossed he can get right.
I think your reserve grade performance so well this year too. It sort of helps with your A grade, doesn't it? Puts a bit of pressure on them that you can confidently bring a reserve grader up into your A grade side.
Oh yeah, it does. There's probably 4 or 5 reserve graders that are any other club probably playing A grade. So, you know, and they've been called upon this year to step up A grade, and they've done well. You know, so. It's going to be a test this week. Like I said, I think it's going to come down to a big play, or whoever plays finals footies better will win. And the first game, I think Valley's just done that a bit better.
Okay, well, let's have a look at this Valley's side. If we can get that up on the graphics there, that'd be much appreciated. At fullback, we've got Dylan Chow on the wing, Zach Miles and Matty Hawkins in the centres, Jared Dodd and Caleb Hart. In the halves, Jake Riles and Corey McGrady. Steve Rogers makes his return from injury in the front row for a big plus for the Roosters. Dexter Buchanan is the other prop with Nathan Barry at hooker. And then the back row, Hugh Sedger, Nick Sargent and Alona Budden, and then on their bench they've got Richard Murray, what a final series he's had, Drew Jackson, Nathan Short, and then Brett Seymour in jersey number 23. And I've got to say, Nev, just thinking today, and I asked Travis where they're going to beat them, Braden Wilson and Andrew Richardson are the real form winger pairings. And with Zach Miles being as young as he is, I think that's where their advantage is going to be. But let's face it, you know, on the Saturday night it was 18-16 and Valleys won that one, didn't they?
Mate, they were. And if you can remember back to that game, Wattles were coming for Valleys then. And there's one fella that stood up and made a 45-metre run that turned the game back in Valleys' favour. That was Zach Miles. So watched him in the Madsen Rasmussen. He scored 2 tries that day. So where he has no right to stand up and do what he does on the field.
No, he hasn't.
But he does.
No.
He does. He weighs 65 kilos. there's a whole story to this young guy, and if anyone, Wattles would know his old man, he played out here and he's as tough as teeth and really talented footballer, so he won't be overawed, and it'll be a hell of a battle between the wingers, the four wingers.
And Reeds, the inclusion of Stephen Rogers into that forward pack, how much of a bonus is that for the Roosters?
Oh, look, he's pretty tough. He won't take any backward steps. They've been missing him a little bit, like in the previous games. While they've been getting away with wins and that, you need a Steve Rogers out there. I think Jared Dodd's a real asset for him in the centres if they get ball out there. And out on the other edge there, Huey Sedger, where he defended with Brett Seymour on that other night against Wattles. They were very tough out there, and every time someone brought the ball, it wasn't just a tackle, it was a good big hit, and it sort of stopped them looking to go to that right edge a bit, Wattles. So they've got plenty of firepower across the park, and plenty of good footballers there.
Yeah, well, I'm certainly tipping Wattles have been with them all year, and I think it proved that no matter who's on the field, they're working well as a team and a club. Who are you going for, Reeds?
Look, I'm going for Wattles. I've been with them throughout all the final series. Disappointed when they did get beaten by Valleys the other week, but they certainly fought back last week in style, and I think they'll be too good this weekend.
Nep?
Mate, I'm taking Valleys, like they're just...
Oh, where's the booze? Come on, booze.
Next Rooster,
I'm
after free tickets to the 100th anniversary. Jeez, they're up me here.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, look, I'm just Valleys boy through and through, and I think it's one of many stories. It's a great story if they can win the premiership heading into their 100th year. I think they deserve that. They've been a foundation club, and mate, I just think at the end of the day, I don't care who wins. It's just going to be that good of a game, and a game that we deserved all year.
Yeah, I think there's plenty of respect for both sides. And Travis, just before we go to the break, mate, what a wonderful night it was on Friday night for the Toowoomba Rugby League presentation night. The cliffhanger of a Webke Prize medal winner, none other than Jackson Green. What a thrill for the club. Wasn't that? Put your hands together for Jackson. How thrilled was that? And you got, what, 7 in the team of the year, and look, just get a chill. I get a chill down my spine now, maybe because the door's open. But look, what a fantastic it was for the club to really springboard you into Sunday's game.
Yeah, it was. You know, I thought Jacko was hands down the best player in the TRL, and probably closely followed by
Corey, yes. I think the right two people were there at the end, don't you think?
And they're a big reason probably why we ended up top, and Valleys were second throughout the year, the form of those two players. And like I said, like Nev said, if one of them players can pull something magic out, it might just be enough to get the win for whichever side.
Sometimes when you see fellas like Jacko and Corey running first and second, only a point apart, but just behind them you had Dylan Chowan in there and you had Matty Duggan in there. Sometimes they take a lot of points away from each other. But I think the right two got to the top of the table on Friday night for the Price Webke medal.
And we've got the quiz coming up after the break, but just the last two questions. John McNaughton medal, I'm going for Dale Perkins. I think it's going to be a forwards game, and he just is one of the best forwards in the game. Who are you going for, Reeds?
Well, I'm one of the one who votes for it, so I'm going to pick Jacko.
Oh, do you? You're a legend, mate. Here's $10, you beauty. Neville?
Mate, I'll go for Huey Sedger. Like, he plays in the forwards, but he runs like a 5'8", and I think he's a perfect foil for McGrady. He takes a lot of pressure off McGrady, and he just gives him those options both sides of the ruck.
And yeah, I forgot else what I was going to say then, Travis.
Oh, no.
No, it's just lost me. But thanks for joining us, Travis. You're going to join us on the quiz after the break, and it's going to be an absolute ripper with Ryan Duggan and Dale Perkins joining us. Reeds, thanks very much
Cheers, mate.
For us. We'll stay for the end of the show. That'll be much appreciated. And thanks for joining us today. I want to have a big thank you at the end of the quiz. So we'll go to the break, and after the break, we're here for Obi's quiz. This is the Toowoomba Rugby League Footy Show!
Coming up after the break, it's Obi's Quiz. This is the grand final edition of the TRL Footy Show, brought to you by Wattles Rugby League Football Club, Gatton Leagues Club, Dalby Leagues Club, Valleys Rugby League Footy Club, and Power FM. We're live and free from Wattles Clubhouse here on Power TV.
Looking for exposure for your business or event? Take your business, community event, training seminar, sports fixture, function. concert or exhibition to the world with Power TV Australia and Power FM's unique live outside simulcasts. We can turn your next local event into a worldwide sensation with stunning live pictures, interviews, graphics and live action replays for a fraction of the usual cost. From a festival or sports fixtures to a corporate or charity event, Power TV Australia and Power FM can take your message live to our local and national viewers and listeners. Invite the world to your party by contacting Barry today on 0431 390 920 or email programming@powertvaustralia.com for a quote.
At the roundabout, take the third exit onto the War Ego Highway.
See, honey, we will be there in no time.
You were supposed to take this online is easier.
Make a U-turn immediately.
It's all right, honey. The
Stop
GPS is
and
just
use your
recalibrating.
map. Turn left into the river now.
This is going well. The car park is chockers. Why didn't we just go online?
Yes, madam. Just take the mouse and log on to powerfmrockshop.com.au.
The Power FM Rock Shop. You bought the album, saw the concert, now own the t-shirt. www.powerfmrockshop.com.au. Home of the Gatton Hawks, Carl Park is the place in Gatton for all your sporting, leisure, entertainment and dining needs. In addition to sporting fields, the complex boasts a bistro, bar and gaming lounge. Having a birthday or function? Why not book their dedicated function room and let the staff take the stress out of your function? The Carl Park Sporting Complex has a courtesy bus that operates every Friday and Saturday night that can pick you up and drop you back home. Enjoy a delicious meal, a drink and some entertainment at the Carl Park Sporting Complex. Call the friendly team on 546 22 708 or check them out at facebook.com/Carl Park Sports. Welcome back to the TRL Footy Show, the grand final edition from Wattles Rugby League Clubhouse. And now, here's Obi's quiz.
Well, welcome back, everyone. Good And we're here for Obi's quiz, and we got three culprits. It's like pulling teeth getting some contestants on Obi's quiz. And we've got Ryan Duggan. Put your hands together for Ryan. And Ryan, congratulations on your season. You've been playing very, very well now. You're, I don't know what your age is, but do you consider yourself veteran class?
Oh, I'm definitely veteran class, yeah. So I'm certainly getting on.
Look, I've liked your work rate. It's been very, very good. You've never die wondering, and when you get down and dirty, especially when it gets deep into the game.
I suppose that I think that's probably one of my strengths of the football. Like, I'm happy to do the 1%ers and the shit work, and I think that's probably my role.
Yeah, well, you played centre, and second row is your preferred position.
At this stage, it is. I'm not fast enough to be in the backs, and I'm not smart enough to be in the halves, so I've got to be in the forwards somewhere.
All right, okay. And then let's put your hands together to the coach, and hopefully the 2018 Premiership winning coach. Yes, Travis Burns. Hey mate, have you enjoyed being here tonight, mate?
Yeah, it's been good. No, it's good to get you out to the Wattles home ground, and hopefully we can take the grand final on Sunday.
Yeah, I did forget, of course, and well, let's go straight to my old mate, and he's got the makeup on again, the co-captain, Dale Perkins. Put your hands together for Perko! Volvo Perkins, we call him. How are you going, Dale?
Not too bad, over yourself.
You came on for a stint for the footy show the other day, mate, and you just want more, don't you, mate?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're a movie star in the making.
Can't keep me away now.
Just look down that camera and go, I'll be back, okay?
Maybe.
All right, maybe go. Go on, mate, go on.
I'll be back.
There you go. So we go from there. Now I've got to ask Ryan and Dar, your co-captains. First to you, Ryan. Have you ever been in a position to captain a side to a premiership?
No, never do a premiership. I captained with Dale also, not last year. Yeah, was it last year? Yeah, it was. It was last year. Me and Dale both sort of captained through last year. We made it sort of deep in the semis, but that's as far as I got as a captain.
And I know that, Dale, you've been lucky enough to win the 2013 with the Hawks. You weren't captain at that time. Have you ever been in a position to be captain? Were you a captain out at the Gremlins?
No, absolutely not. This is the last 3 years here at Wattles has been my first stint as a leader of the club. Obviously joining with Ryan, it's been, Ryan's really good to work with. We share the duties week in, week out. And also we've really got Travis there as well. Travis is a leader on the field as well.
So listen, I must be getting a chill up your spine, feeling a bit nervous about the game, talking about that now?
Not yet, no.
Yeah, well, wait until you have Opie's quiz, then you'll be nervous, I can tell you. Okay, now, what we do is we ask an individual question each, okay, to these three, and then we'll go on to the buzzer round, okay? So is anyone out there? Hello? Yeah, that's good, yeah. Absolute fever pitch it is that right? You there, Robbo?
I'm here.
Okay, you're an adjudicator?
I am.
Do you know how to count up in fives?
I do.
You do, that's good, okay?
Last time I said that I got in trouble.
That's right. Okay, now Ryan, okay, been doing a little bit of homework on these three here as well. Now Ryan, you have a big corn thing under your chin, don't you?
Yep.
Can we have a look at it, mate? There it is, okay. Now this is a multiple choice question, okay? Right, how did you get it, right? Was it A, giving yourself too many uppercuts? Was it B, Matthew giving you too many uppercuts? Or C, flicking your collar around when you were a kid?
It's definitely not B, so we'll go C.
Okay, C, flicking your collar. So 5 points to Rhino. Yes, first time I've seen him go red all year. Now on to Burnsy. Hounded me for what some of these questions were, and I haven't changed it. Not okay. Now, well, I want to ask you, Travis, this is your first ever grand final, isn't it?
Oh, I played a junior. I played a.
As far as top grade's concerned.
Top grade, yeah. I played a Jersey Flag grand final.
That's not top grade,
no,
mate.
Exactly. Yeah, well,
I can still play Jersey Flag.
Well, why ask me a question? You know the answer. First senior grand final. Yeah.
And how are you? Pretty excited about it, mate? How's it compare? I know you've reached the top echelon as far as playing NRL and Super League. You must be just so excited.
Oh, it's great. To work it's been probably the most enjoyable year of rugby league, and I've played some big games, but to work with these bunch of blokes, like we've got a really good close knit of players, and if we could win the grand final, it'll probably be the pinnacle of my career.
I just want to ask you, I think it's your first crack at soul coaching as well. What have you learnt about this year? Have you surprised yourself?
I think it's nothing that I'm doing. I have my structures in place, but my players lead a lot of what we do, and I wouldn't be the coach I am without the players that I've got at the moment. So probably I credit my players to how good we're going this year, and probably reflects on me as a coach a bit.
Okay, so put your hands together for Travis. What a fantastic breath of fresh air he's been, not only for here but for the competition as a whole. Okay, mate. Now your worst habit, multiple choice for you. Okay, is it A, worries too much? Is it B, spits a lot? Or C, lying on the couch, putting your hands down your pants?
All the above, but it depends who you ask. If you ask my wife, it's probably I worry a lot. If you ask my players, it's probably I spit a lot. They've got to dodge around a few landmines in the dressing sheds. But
hang on, get your hands above the table, mate.
So what was A? So what was A? What was A?
A was worries too much. We don't want war and peace, mate. Just answer the
question. Spitting too much.
Eh?
Spitting too much?
That's wrong, you idiot. It is lying out on the couch with your hands down your pants, okay? And if you haven't watched the show, the catchphrase is idiot, right? So I want everyone to say idiot after 3. 1, 2, 3. Idiot. Yeah, baby. So that was good. We got. It's an idiot-a-thon, isn't it, Robbo?
Absolutely.
Have I ever called you idiot?
Never.
Oh, well, you're an idiot. There you go. Away we go. All right, now, Dale Perkins, my old mate. Now, mate, you are so hard to find any stories about, mate. I couldn't find anything, all right? But I can tell you a few stories about that. You're the first to get dressed ready for a game every game, aren't you?
Yes, I have been lately.
How come, you idiot?
I don't know. I just worked out a new system with me strapping tape and me socks, and it just gets me ready early.
That's good, mate. That's. Was anyone listening to that? I wasn't. Okay. Now, mate, I have heard that you used to love or still love doing some bike riding, especially when you were younger.
Yep.
All right. Now, tell us about your first buster, right? When riding with your older brother Brendan. Okay, it was the first time you were allowed to ride on the farm. You would have been just so excited. Okay, and it was the first time you allowed. So you were pretty keen, right? This is what I heard. So you yelled out to him, "Can't you keep up, Brendan?"
That's pretty much how it
And
went.
then what happened there, mate? You tell us.
Yeah, well, for the first week I was only allowed around the backyard, and then I was finally allowed to venture out around the farm, so off we went, and I was getting a bit cocky and a bit full of myself, and Brendan was beside me, and I thought I was beating him, so I said, "Are you having trouble keeping up?" And I give it a squirt. Next thing I knew, I was full Superman off the back and dragging behind my bike, and just made a right idiot of myself.
Yeah, that's right. And you had a crash, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
A buster. Yeah. Well, what he said is that you went past and you can't keep up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
okay,
right.
that was good. Now into that. See that camera over there, mate?
Yeah.
Say after me, "I'll be back."
I won't be back.
Okay. All right. Here's your question. Now, your brother Brendan has 2 children, Amelia and Fletcher, right?
Yeah.
Your niece and nephew. You've also got a sister, Rebecca. She's got children. G'day to the Perkins family. Now, 5 points, mate. All right. What are their ages?
So Fletcher is 5, and Amelia turns 8 in October.
Very good. That's 5 points. Now, I'm going to give you another 5 points, right? If you can give me their dates of birth.
Fletcher, 4th of February. Amelia, 28th of October.
What years, mate?
Oh, well, if she's 8, so you can work it out.
Yeah. No, that's wrong, you idiot. Okay, so Fletcher's is you said the 8th of February or something?
No, 4th of February.
4th of February, yeah, that's close. It's the 12th of February, you idiot, okay? 2013, and you're very close, but I'm not going to give it to you because it'll keep all the scores the same, and Amelia's is the 28th of the 10th, 2010, okay? Because when they're 8, mate, and it's 2018, you take 8 off, it's 2010, so we get that, okay? Just a score check there, thanks, Robbo.
At the moment, we have a tie between Dale and Ryan, both on 5 points, and Travis yet to score.
Oh, that's good. Okay. All right, now, hands on your buzzers, okay? Now, we want to know what the buzzers are going to be, aren't we? Okay? Now, Dale, your buzzer is a warrior call, okay?
Yeah.
And you've got to go, "Yah!" Okay, with the hand, okay?
Yep.
Ready?
Yep.
Go.
Yeah!
Okay, very good. Now, Travis, yours is a yo call, okay?
A what?
A yo, okay? So you're going to flex the muscles and you go, yo. Show us, mate.
Yo.
No, both hands, mate.
Yo.
That's good, okay? Now, being a Warriors, okay, yours is, Ryan, a charge call, okay? And you can go, charge! Okay, ready?
Charge.
Yeah, that was good. That was, what's the saying, mate? That's about as funny as a fart in the elevator, I reckon. Yeah, so, away we go. So, ready to go? Let's try it again. Warrior call.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah.
Yo, you idiot. Okay, and well done, Ryan. You're playing the game, mate. You must have been just a really goody two-shoe when you were going to school. Okay, now ready? We've got about 9 questions, okay? Wattles were formed in 1947. What 2 areas do they represent?
Yo.
Yes, mate?
Clifton Nara.
Very good. Now, yeah.
That's fast.
I knew you'd get that one, mate, because it was a difficult question for Dale and Ryan. Okay, well done to Travis, okay? It's all 5-all, is that right, Robbo?
Scores are tied.
Absolute cliffhanger stuff, isn't it? Okay, who scored the first try for Wattles on the weekend?
Yo. Tigana.
Tigana, very good, mate. That's very good. Okay, who scored the last try on the weekend?
Yo.
Yep.
No, you can't think about it after you do your buzzer.
Nathan Dalton? No, you idiot. Okay, who scored the last try on the weekend?
Yeah.
Yep.
Jake Hargraves.
No, wrong, you idiot.
Jackson Green.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a Highfields player. Tom Ingersoll.
Well, actually, let me give you it right. The last try was a Highfields try, wasn't it? And everyone goes, ah. Okay, so it's a multiple choice question, okay? Multiple choice, I'll give it to you. Was it A, Zach Loxley? Was it B, Sean Loxley, or was it C, Tom Ingersoll?
No.
Yep.
Tom Ingersoll.
Wrong, you idiot.
No.
Yep.
Zach Loxley.
Wrong, you idiot.
Sean Loxley.
No, you didn't do your buzzer, you idiot. So you got none. Okay, so well done there. Okay. How many goals did Travis Burns attempt on the weekend?
Yeah.
Yes.
I got
Ron.
7.
No.
Wrong, you idiot.
8.
He didn't do his buzzer.
Oh, he
No,
does
didn't do your
before.
buzzer?
I
No.
done
No.
before.
Oh, well, look, we'll give you that out of sympathy, but if you
Yeah.
do it again, out you go, okay?
Yeah.
5 points to Dale. He attempted 8 goals and he got 7 out of 8. Fantastic. Get it, put that together. Well done. Matthew Duggan kicked 2 field goals this season. How many other field goals were scored by Wattles this season?
Yeah.
No, get the hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
0.
That's very good, very smart. Well done, there was none. Okay, Nick Vanderpool and Jake Hargraves have made a formidable centre pairing this season. Right, spell Vanderpool.
Yeah.
Yep.
V-A-N.
Mm-hmm.
A little space.
A little space or a big
Whatever.
space? Yep.
Space.
Yep.
P-O-O-L-E. No, sorry.
No, that's wrong, mate.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah.
Mate. Yes, Dale.
V-A-N.
Yep.
Space.
A big space or a little space?
Just a space.
Yeah, good. Okay.
D-E-R.
That's good, yep.
Dash.
No, or space, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yep.
P-O-E-L.
Well done, Dale. 5 points. I'm the same as you, Travis. My best 5 years was grade 3. Okay, now, what was the lowest amount of points that Wattles A grade scored in a single match this season?
Yeah.
Yep.
16.
That's right. Okay, now for a further 5 points, right? What were the 2 teams they were against?
Yeah.
Come on now, you guys, test your buzzer, mate.
Yeah.
Come on, charge, right?
Highfields and Valleys.
Very good. Valley's in the qualifying final and Highfields in round 6. Well done. Now, Brendan Wilson scored. Hang on now. Let's do a check here for the. Thanks, mate. Okay.
Right. Score check.
Yeah, score check, mate. Yep.
Okay, Ryan's on 5, Travis is on 10, and Dale's on 30.
Well done, 30. 5, 10 and 30, okay? Now, Brendan Wilson scored 19 tries this year. He was the highest try scorer for Wattles. Put your hands together for Brandon. In my opinion, he's one of the best wingers in the comp this year. So congratulations to you, Brendan. Okay. Who was the next highest?
Yeah.
Yep.
Jacko.
You're right. Okay. For another 5 points. Who was the next?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's for me. Ty Gardner.
Wrong, you idiot. Okay.
That's what I was going to say.
Andy Richardson.
Charge. Andy Richardson.
Well done, mate. Quiet from the audience, please. It was Cherry or Reeds, one of the 2. Okay. Now for another 5 points. How many tries did they each score?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yours is yo.
Together, what's mine?
Yours is yo.
Yeah, mate, you can add them up. You can tell them different, as long as they're
23.
right. 23? No, you idiot. Okay, next one.
Together.
No, you idiot.
I forgot what we're even adding up.
Hey?
What are we even adding up?
How many tries they've scored? Jackson Green and Andrew Richardson.
Yeah, I took them off your stats. You're wrong.
27.
27, Dale? Well, I'm not going to answer that, mate, because you didn't do your buzzer, you idiot. I've been telling you all night, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah? And?
27.
No, you're wrong, you idiot. Ryan! Okay, let me tell you, Brian, to give you a chance, mate. All right? It's between, and there's 2, right? Between 14 and 17, mate. Both of them together.
Between 14 to 17.
Yep.
I'll say 28.
No, it's 15 and 16. Yeah, that's good. All right, last question. What's the score?
The current score, Ryan is on 10, Travis is on 15, and Dale still remains on 30.
Okay, so we'll make this 20 points.
This has to be a 25 point.
25 points, winner takes all this last question. All right, let's test those buzzers. Dale?
Yeah.
Yeah, come do it again, mate, because you haven't done it all day.
More
Come on.
enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Okay, now look over to the camera and go, run to the chopper! Come on, mate.
Get to the chopper.
Well done. Okay, Travis, your buzzer.
Yo.
And Ryan?
Charge.
Well done, okay. All right, who am I?
Obi.
I was born, very good, you can have 5 points for that. Okay, but now it's worth 30 points for the end of the thing, okay?
So,
I was born in 1952. I come from the area. I played NRL for 2 clubs in Sydney and for Wynnum Manly in the Brisbane Rugby League competition. I have an equally famous brother who's a legend in the club and for Toowoomba. The ground is called after our family. Yes?
Oh, wait. Greg Clark.
Wrong, you idiot.
that's what I was going to say, so I'm going.
I played for Parramatta and...
Yo. Can I have a chat?
Big, you can have another go.
Lou Platt.
That's right. Well done. And Travis wins the Obi's quiz, the last one for 2018. And we'll come back after this break to wrap it all up. Thanks very much. Let's hear it from it, guys. Yeah, well, welcome back to the TRL Footy Show. Hey, you can do that louder. Welcome back to the TRL Footy Show. Woo! What a wonderful quiz that was. And look, a lot of people to thank. This is our last show for 2018. And look, there's none other than the Power TV Australia team and Barry Newquay Knights. They've been fantastic. We've been going 2 seasons now. We've learnt a lot. So put your hands together for Barry Newquay. This fella beside me, Robbo, we've been, 2 or 3 seasons. I remember the first time I went to your office and we started all this stuff, and it's been a wonderful journey, hasn't it, Robbo?
A magnificent journey, absolutely. I loved every moment of it.
That's right, and a great mentor for me, so well done for you. I don't know who can mentor, but that's a big statement. Look, I'd like to thank Brian Gilroy and the Toowoomba Rugby League. Without their help and their support and their approval for doing this, it certainly would not be possible, and from the bottom of our hearts, thank you very much to Brian. To Reeds, thanks very much for helping when I go away. You've been a breath of fresh air this year. We really appreciate your help.
Thanks, Obi. Enjoyed being on there, mate.
And Neville, well, you've been just an absolute star this year. So thanks for helping us with the footy show. I'm sure you'll be back bigger and better next year.
Mate, most definitely, Obi. And there's no better community than the league community. And it's an honour and it's great to be involved in it. You meet some wonderful people in around the games and the game of rugby league, and can't wait to come back next year.
Okay, we had obviously Murphy helped us out. Good on you, Murph, for helping us out through the year. We'll see you next year. And other guys like Mark Turkey, Bet Seymour came on a few times, and they all do this for nothing, so we really appreciate it. We wish the Phillies all the best next year. And of course, all the clubs and their presidents, and for their understanding and hospitality has been absolutely wonderful, hasn't it, Robbo?
Absolutely. We've enjoyed the hospitality of a few clubs this year, as opposed to last year where we were just sort of treading water and finding our feet. But this year, some great hospitality. This one, I've never heard a crowd so loud.
No, they're fantastic, really, really good. And they're looking from the Obi and Cookie Call team with Cookie, Nutsy, Nev, Kelvin Hawke, Gary Lawrence, Kerry Carmichael, Lenny Curry, and of course Neil O'Brien. We thank them for giving us their time, and we'll be there on the weekend with myself, Nutsy, Cookie and Nev floating around all day. Oh, Kelvin's going to be calling as well, so we thank all those. And look, and especially a big thank you out to the coaches and the players. We ring them every week. We talk for plenty of times through the week, and it would not be possible if they weren't very gracious in helping us raise this product of rugby league when we do interviews and come out here and disturb all their Toowoomba Rugby League Footy Show stuff, and we thank you very much. But lastly, thanks for our sponsors. Certainly Toowoomba Sports Club, they've been wonderful. CNR Concreting, Profume Pest Control, Pittsworth Goodyear Auto Care and Centre, that's Sutto out there, S&K Drilling, and all the Leeds Club that have also sponsored some of the footy shows as well. We thank you very much. As well as all the other businesses that help Power TV is Gary Walker Swim School, Criterion Hotel, Roxy Music, Central Liaison, CCG DG Printing, Power FM, Computer Troubleshooters, Toowoomba West, and there's one more that also helps your radio show. Sutto and what's the other one, mate?
Sutto and of course the Toowoomba Better Electrical, Better Home
That's
Living.
right.
Out at Wilsonton.
Yeah, one of the Toowoomba Rugby League sponsors. So it's thanks very much. We hope this year we've given you some entertainment. I think we're very, very unique. There's not one grassroots district that has a show or a radio show like ours, and we thank you for all your support. We can't do it. We need plenty of help. If you're looking for sponsorship next year, whether it be Power FM, the TRL with the footy show, with the Obi and Cookie Call, whatever, speak to Power TV Australia or Power FM or get in contact with us. But thank you, been fantastic, and it's good night for 2018. We'll see you Sunday.
Just before we
Hang on
go,
a sec, yep.
just before we go, a big round of applause for Obi having the vision to put this on over the last couple of years.
Yeah, thanks very much. Well done. All right, we'll see you next year, everyone.
This has been the grand final edition of the TRL Footy Show. Thanks to our sponsors, Wattles Rugby League Football Club, Gatton Leagues Club, Dalby Leagues Club, Valleys Rugby League Footy Club, Power FM, Royce Music and Computer Troubleshooters Toowoomba West. If you're in business and interested in advertising on Power TV and Power FM, you can contact us by phone or email. Those contacts are on the screen. This has been a Power TV Australia production in conjunction with Power FM. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and remember to download the Power TV Australia app from the Google Play Store. Thanks for your company for the grand final edition of the TRL Footy Show and our final show for 2018. I'm Robbo. Catch you again next year.